Welcome everyone to the 3-day International Virtual Workshop on Research Methodology, Research Writing, and Manuscript Editing, jointly organized by Literary Club India, Cap Common Trust, and Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association, Malaysia. Today, we have two speakers. Our first speaker, Dr. Hardeep Singh, IK, Gujarat Punjab Technical University, Punjab, India, and our second speaker, Dr. K. Sasirega, Assistant Professor of English, Mirkas Manikam College of Arts and Science, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. And our first speaker, Dr. Hardeep Singh, IK, Gujarat Punjab Technical University, Punjab, India. Dr. Hardeep Singh, senior academician, researcher, author, orator, mentor, motivational speaker, and life coach. He having 20 years of total experience, is a life member of various international bodies like IAER, CSI, IACSIT, IADRC, IFRC, and ISPD. He has been honored as a patron member by World Academic Industry Research Collaboration Organization for the period of lifetime. His profile has been published in World Book of Researchers 2018 at Oxford, United Kingdom. He has been esteemed to address various conferences as keynote speaker. To his credit, go 41 international conferences, 36 national conferences, 11 UGC seminars, and 100 plus webinars, workshops, FDPs, and EDPs, 20 plus hours, 30 plus professional membership, 4 books, and 5 anthology books. He has presented 100 plus research papers, articles. He has published 100 plus research papers, articles in conference proceedings and journals of national, international fame under the tag of publishers of well-reputed like Elsevier, Scopus, IEE, and Springer, etc. He has guided 100 plus projects to the students of BTech and MBA. He has also guided MTech and PhD candidates for writing and publication of research papers. His latest book, co-authored by Professor J.S. Jogi and Dr. D.P. Kodari, a well-known scientist and educationalist, named as Written and Oral Technical Communication Skills for Engineers, Scientists, is available in 8 foreign languages. Now, I hand over in this session to you, sir. This session is yours.
So, good evening, everybody. I think my screen is visible to everybody. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please
Yes, sir, it
continue.
is visible.
My screen is visible and I am audible, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
good evening, everybody. Thanks to the
Good evening.
organizers for inviting me on this wonderful platform to share my expert talk on this fundamental guidelines for writing and publishing academic research paper. I would also like to thank the organizers for introducing me in so nice words. So, starting for today's talk, first of all, I would like to let you know the contents, what contents we will cover today. First is introduction, then structure of the research paper, then choosing a right title, abstract, introduction of the paper, what do journal editors want, reading improve your writing, publication ethics, choosing a right journal, what makes a good manuscript, scientific languages, tenses, conclusions, acknowledgements, references, and important points to remember and worth of your paper. At the end of the session, you would be able to know all this and you will be able to write a good quality research paper and submit that research paper to a good quality journal and get it published. So, starting introduction. Publishing research results is an integral part of a researcher's professional life. However, writing is not every researcher's favorite activity, and getting a paper published in right journal can be a very tedious and time consuming process when you don't know the basic guidelines, fundamental guidelines of writing the research paper, and you are not aware about the publication ethics. Only then it becomes a very tedious and time consuming process. What does Robert Day says? A scientific paper is defined as a written and published report describing original research results. So, my dear participants, candidates, research scholars, and the academicians, when we come to the this writing a research paper for our MTech publication, our post graduation degree or our PhD degree, it becomes a very tedious task for the freshers. So attend to this session very attentively, and I will make it very simple how to write a research paper and how to go for a good quality research paper and how to go for a good quality research publications. So coming to the next slide, structure of the research paper. Whenever we go for any work, for any construction, for any good thing, we have to look for the structure. Structure should be good so that we may make that product a good thing, a quality thing. According to Hogarth model, the structure of a paper comprises of three core parts, namely introduction, body, and discussion. As per King's model, the structure of paper comprises of title, abstract, introduction, body, discussion, and references. So making it very simple how to remember and how to write it, I have written in very simple words, simple headings. First is title, then affiliation of authors, abstract, introduction, literature review, need of the study, objectives of the study, then research methodology, findings, results, limitations of the study, scope of future research, conclusions, acknowledgements, references, and author's biography wherever required according to the journal guidelines or the conference guidelines. Coming to the next slide, I think everybody is visible with my slides. My slides are
No,
visible to everybody.
Sir, the
Yes,
slides are
Yes,
sir.
not
sir.
changing,
It's
sir.
visible.
It's visible, but it's
it's not
not
moving.
changing. It's still on the first
Not
one.
changing.
Sir.
Ha, now
Okay, right.
it's a different one, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right. This is the structure of that research paper. First is title. First, we will write the title, then abstract. After the abstract, we will write keywords, 4 to 5 keywords. Then introduction, related work, then research methodology, results, conclusion, acknowledgements, and references. Now, coming to the detail, then when we start any work, a problem arises, a question arises in our mind, where to start, how to start. So first point that we will think, we will search. First is choose a right title. Your title should be right, it should be impressive, it should be attractive, and it should be meaningful. This is the main opportunity to attract the reader's attention. Remember that the readers are the potential authors who will cite your paper. Choose a right title. The title should be very specific, not too broad. Your title should not be too long. It should be specific and it should be meaningful. The title should be substantially different from others. Your title should not match, should not be like the others. It should be different from the others, and it will be very good if your title becomes unique. Avoid general or big titles. Keep it informative and concise. Editors hate titles that make no sense or fail to represent the subject matter adequately. Avoid technical jargons and abbreviations. You should discuss with your co-authors, with your fellow colleagues, fellow researchers before you write your title. So your title should be good, it should be attractive, specific, not too broad, and there should be no more technical abbreviations in it that everybody doesn't know. So your title should be good and impressive. Coming to the next point, this thing I have already discussed with you, that you should keep in mind that you should have interest to learn in depth. Your title should be feasible. It should not be too difficult. Material should be available for the research work that you are doing. Feasible means that the title you have chosen, that the work the search on that title should be feasible. Likewise, that you should choose that title that is feasible, the research is feasible. Likewise, you may write down a title, you may think to do a research on that, to you can say that to keeping that stars on the earth, that is not feasible. We cannot do that thing, we do not bring the stars on the earth. This is not feasible. Your title should be feasible, your search should be feasible, and it should not be too difficult. It should be feasible, it should be research worthy, and audience is your end goal. The meaning of this point is that the research that you are doing, you are giving a solution to the problem, to the society, the problem that the society is facing. Your audience is the end goal, society is the end goal, and in this research you are giving a solution to the problem that is existing in the society. And last thing, your title should not be too broad. It should be, you should narrow down to your title to make it too impressive and too attractive. This is a one sample I have given you of the title: energy efficient hybrid policy in green cloud computing. This is the title, and below the title you will write the affiliations of the author. Like there are two authors in this paper. First is engineer Yashi Goyal. After that we will write the designation of the author, that is PhD research scholar. After that we will write the affiliation of the author, to which organization or to which university the author belongs, that is IK Gujaral Punjab Technical University, Kapurthala, Punjab, India. After that, we have written the email ID of that author, that the journal or the conference organizers, they may contact that person, that author. That is why the email ID is given. After that, author number 2 is given, Dr. Sunil Goyal. After that, his affiliation, his designation, affiliation, and email ID. This is one way in which you can write the affiliation of the authors. I am sharing one more sample. In that way, you can also write that title, and after that, you can write the affiliation. This is the second way you can write. You can see here above, the title is given. Before that, we have written the author names. First is Hardeep Singh, and second is Bikram Pal Singh. We have written both. If there are three authors, we can write the three on the same line. We have mentioned 1, 2, 3 authors. In the last slide, we have written first author, then its affiliation, then its designation, then its email ID. After that, we have written the name. But in this, we have written in one line, mentioning 1, 2, 3, then its designation, its affiliation, contact number, email ID, everything. This we will write according to the guidelines of that journal or guidelines of that conferences that we are going to attend, or that we are going to present that paper. Next, the very important point comes: gathering material. So it is very important for the freshers, who are freshers, for who are writing as a fresher for their MTech degree, or for their MPhil degree, or for their PhD degree, that how to gather the material to make a worthy research paper. This is the time of IT, information technology, and we can get the material, very good material, by using this information technology. This Google is there, Wikipedia is there. We can also refer the international journals, online journals, national journals, from where the already the material or the research paper or the title similar to that area have been published already. There are many conference proceedings like IEEE conference proceedings, and many other proceedings that are available online, and even in your college library or your university library, the research papers are available. We can gather material from there. There are some newspapers also, like Economic Times and many other newspapers, that publish these reports or these material, research material in their newspapers, and we can get material from there also. We can some material from the books also, like definitions or some other research techniques or any other research methodology material we can get from the books. And so in this way, we can gather the material for making our research paper a good paper. Reading is a very good activity to make a good research paper. You should read more and more to get a good material and author a good research paper. Next, point comes note taking. It is very much important for making good notes or making a good research paper. Note taking is very much important. Organize all the information you have gathered. Don't include any irrelevant information that doesn't make the meaning. Highlight the essential details and apply color code by the topic. So note taking is very much important. We should read more and more research paper, more and more books, more and more articles, more and more, you can say, conference proceedings to get similar material, worthy material for a good quality research paper. Next thing I have told you, note making or note taking. You should highlight that points that you can say important points that are more important for your research paper according to your research title. You should underline that on that paper that you are reading, and after that you should make notes like I have shown here that there is a notebook. We can write according with different color pens like pink pen, red pen, blue pen, highlighter, and pencil. According to the importance, according to the priority, you can make the notes, take the notes, and make the notes before writing that research paper. This will make a good quality paper. Why we do note taking and note making? Because one point I have read on the research paper that this author has written this findings very much important. This will give value to my paper. I I am unable to remember when we recall, when I am finally giving a final draft to my paper. I am unable to recall, and that point remains there, and I am unable to include it in my paper. So for that, not to for that thing, to remember that thing, we go to note making and note taking. This is very much important. Then coming to the first point of the paper, we have written the, you can say, title of the paper. Then we have written the affiliation of the author. Then coming to the point abstract, that is very much important part of the paper. Mostly editors, mostly viewers, readers, authors, they look into the abstract. Your abstract should be meaningful. After you can say viewing the abstract, after that the editor or the author or the viewer, he thinks this paper is worthy, I should read it or not. So abstract summarizes your work. Write a concise abstract. The abstract must be accurate, specific, and concise. Only 100 to 300 words only. You should take care of the words, counting of words, 100 to 300 words only. An abstract tells the problem that the paper discusses, the work that has been done, or the method being used, original findings and achievements. I have to make it very simple. I have divided into the, you can say, sentence parts. 1 to 4 sentence, describe problem addressed. 1 to 4 sentence, objectives and hypothesis. 1 to 2 sentences, techniques. Avoid details. You have not to give details in the abstract. You should take care of word counting very attentively. 1 to 3 sentences, most important results. Then final sentence, concluding statement. An abstract usually does not have reference numbers, multiple paragraphs. There is only one paragraph in the abstract. Abstract should have 5 to 6 keywords. After writing the abstract, we have to mention the keywords, and mention the keyword should be 5 to 6 only, not less than 5 and not more than 6. These are the labels of your manuscripts and critical to contract indexing and searching. The keywords should be too broad or too narrow. Use only those abbreviations that are firmly established in the field. You should take care of this thing very, you can say, carefully. Very importantly, this is very important line. Use only those abbreviations that are firmly established in the field. You not write too much technical and too much typical words in the paper. The majority of people will only read this section. It must be able to stand alone. So abstract is very much important part, and you have to write it very carefully. I am sharing one sample of the abstract with you. This is my research paper, work life balance of married and unmarried university teachers of Punjab State. This is the title. Below that we have written author's name, and under that we have written abstract. You should take care abstract here, abstract 100 to 300 words only. After that we will mention the keywords. So coming to the next slide, then we have read the papers, made the notes, taken the notes, underlined the important things, mentioned the important things. Now we are coming to a make a preliminary outline that gives the blueprint or plan of your paper. Planning is very much important. Any work you do, any project you make, any proposal you make, or you have to make go anywhere, you have to go travel anywhere, you have to plan that thing, and planning makes your work very successful. Brainstorming part and purpose of your paper, and organize it logically. Strong plan makes your paper, your job easier. So planning is very much important while doing anything. Then this is the research paper outline, preliminary outline. When you write a rough research paper, first is introduction, then body and conclusion. Then after that you will write your first draft. And when you write your first draft, you can say it is a rough paper or first draft. Do not worry about correct spellings or punctuation at this stage. This, when you will review the paper, when you will come to the final stage, you will check the spellings, correct the spellings and punctuation, grammatical mistakes, everything we will refine over there. When you are writing the first draft, do not worry about the correct spellings or punctuations. Organize your information into sections in the order of your outline. You should know the purpose of your paper, and in the research paper there should be logical flow of your ideas. Nothing should be senseless in your paper, nothing should be meaningless in your paper. Then introduction, when we've written the abstract, written the keywords, then comes introduction. Introduction is the most difficult part of the paper. The purpose of introduction is introducing readers to your problem or work. An introduction usually contains brief background of the topic area, existing work, which would lead to importance or originality of your work, description of your problem, achievements or significance, or brief methodology of your work. This is introduction. This is one sample I have shared with you, how to write the introduction and how long the introduction should be. You should write every part of your research paper very carefully. This is very important part of your paper. Literature review or latest study. When you are going to write a research paper, you have to review, you have to read the research papers or research matter related to that area, on which the previous authors have done the research in the current years. Your literature view, the research papers that you are going to consult, you are going to refer. This makes, you should, that should be of current years, not to previous years. That gives no sense to your research paper. A literature review is a search and evaluation of the available literature in your given subject or chosen topic area. It documents the state of art with respect to subject or topic you are writing about. In simple words, a literature review is a survey of scholarly sources on a specific topic. It provides an overview of current knowledge, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods, and gaps in the existing research. The purpose of a literature review is to gain an understanding of existing research and debates relevant to a particular topic or area of study, and to present that knowledge in form of a written report. Conducting a literature review help you build your knowledge in your field. So literature review is very much important in making a good quality research paper. It gives you an overview what work has been done, what research methodologies have been applied, what is the gap pending in that paper that you can fill, and you can give a solution to the society. So literature review is very much important. Now second thing, we come to the point why literature review. I have already discussed to determine what exists in the scholarly literature, to identify possible gaps in the scholarly literature for further search that you can do in your research paper or research dissertation, to inform the research topic, theory, if applicable, and associated methodology, to compare or contrast against findings resulting from the current study. Keep in mind, when you are referring a research paper, your study should be current. It should not be too old of 2 previous years. Then length of literature review. The length of a literature review varies depending on its purpose and audience. The length of the literature review depends on the guidelines, on the research paper, whether you are writing it for a research paper or a thesis or a dissertation. Today we are talking about research paper writing. There are we have to read at least 40 to 50 research papers. After that we will filter that these are according to our title, this matches to our study, and after that we will mention those research papers in our literature review. If we are writing a thesis or dissertation, the review is usually a full chapter in that PhD dissertation or MTech dissertation, and at least 20 pages. But for an assignment it may be only a few pages. When you are writing a research paper, your literature review, it can be of 1 page or 1.5 page according to the length of the research paper. That the research paper is of 5 pages, 6 pages, 10 pages, or this depends upon the word counting that is given in the guidelines of the journal or in the guidelines of that conference. According to that, we can mention the literature review. And if you are writing a PhD dissertation or MTech dissertation, then you can consult your supervisor or guide also. He is the best person to let you know the length of your literature review or how many research papers you have to refer in that journal and in that research paper. But you have to refer the current studies. The number of sources you need in a literature review in general, undergraduate students will usually be required to use somewhere between 5 to 20 sources, and graduate students typically will need between 20 and 40. However, the number can vary greatly. So always read your requirements and ask your professor or supervisor regarding this thing. They are the best to guide you according to this thing. Then coming need of the study, you should know what is the need of the study, why I am doing this study, why what is the need of this study, and what problem the society is facing. Your research problem as a starting point. In the need of the study, first you will write the research problem, then state how your research will contribute to the existing literature in the field, how it will solve the problem of the society, explain how your research will benefit the society, and mention the specific persons or institutions who will benefit from your study. So this is the main point. Then when you do a research or when you write a research paper, the main point is that you should be giving a solution to the existing problem in the society. When you are giving a solution to the problem, only then your research is worthy. Otherwise your research is of no use. So this is a sample I have given you, that how you can write the need of the study. Next coming, after writing need of the study, we have to write the objective of the study. You all very well know that if there is no objective, then there is no use of any work or any research or any study. Objective is very much important. So we have to write the objectives of the study on the paper. So according to the objectives, we can frame the questionnaire and we can get the material. This is the matter how we can write the objectives of the study. Then coming motivation of the research. This thing you can mention or you can leave it. This is upon you. So this heading gives, or this paragraph gives, that what motivates to you to write this research paper. This is optional. You can write or you can leave it. Next, very important thing, this is research methodology. You have to mention in the research paper that what research methodology you have used in doing this research. There are two types of research, primary research and secondary research. Secondary research, that in the secondary research you collect the data that from that the research that has been already done. The research, the government research reports or any other research material that already has been published or the previous authors have done, do you do research on that thing. And primary research is that when we make the questionnaire, we get the data, we go to the respondents, we take personal interviews, or you can say interviews through the questionnaires. We gather the data, we apply the tools, and we then you can so analysis it and make it finding. That is primary research and secondary research. We can mention both. Then if you the literature review you have taken from the secondary data, and the if you are doing the primary research also, you can mention the primary also. So in research methodology, you have to mention whether it is a primary or secondary. Secondly, you will mention which tools you are using in that research. Like many tools are available there according to your research, according to your title, according to your objectives. You have to mention that tools also. Then you have to mention the sampling procedure, statistical techniques used. This I have already discussed with you. Next coming, you have to mention the research limitations also. This is very much beneficial for the further research. The person who reads your paper and go for further research, he knows the research limitations that you have faced, and he can overcome it, and he can make a fine research, a good research on his topic. That is according to your, you can say, research title, to make it further research. Then after that we will do data analysis. We will mention data analysis and findings of the study. This you can mention in the form of tables according to your questionnaire statements giving in the questionnaire. This you can see here in this sample statements. According to that mean, standard deviation number, according to the tools that you have applied, you can write the analysis. After analysis, you will write the findings. And after writing the findings, then when you have done the analysis, written the findings, after that we will come to the conclusion. The conclusion, there is difference between conclusion and abstract. We should not copy the abstract and write it under the conclusion. Conclusion is that when we have done the full research, after that we write the conclusion. And conclusion is not too long, not too broad. It is in short form, concluding all the research that we have done. Then coming to the point, future scope of study. We should also mention in our search paper what is the future scope of our study. When the future authors, they will read your paper, they will note down what more research can be done, what you have written in your future scope of study, and that study will go further. And the things that have remained, you have remained untouched, they will work on that, and they will give a solution to that problem. This is a conclusion that I have already discussed. This tells us how your work advances the field from the present state of knowledge. Without clear conclusions, reviewers and readers will find it difficult to judge the work and whether or not it merits publications in the journal. Do not repeat the abstract. This thing I have already told you. Don't repeat the abstract or just list experimental results. Trivial statements of your results are unacceptable in this section. Provide a clear scientific justification for your work and indicate possible applications and extensions. You should also suggest future experiments for the future authors or the future, you can say, researchers. Then coming references. More mistakes are found in the references than any other part of the manuscript. It is one of the most annoying problems and causes great headaches among editors. Cite the main scientific publications on which your work is based. Do not inflate the manuscript with too many references. It doesn't make it a better manuscript. Keep in mind, if your paper has too many references, you have written too many references, it does not make a better manuscript. Only write those references that you have used. Only avoid excessive self citations and avoid excessive citations of publications from the same reason. So keep in mind while writing these references, after you have written everything, then the final stage comes review and revision. Revision means re plus vision. Arrange and rearrange ideas to follow your outlines. You should finally finalize, make the final draft according to your outline and rearrange your ideas according to that. Checking over a draft to make sure that everything is complete, correct. There is no spelling mistake, no spelling errors, no grammatical errors, and sentence structure is good and punctuation is okay. So when do not make it too early or make it in too few minutes. Give time, check it, recheck it. You can give this thing to your fellow colleagues or to some English expert, to your English professor. He can make it a good, its punctuation, its spelling. Sometimes we write a paper, we do anything, we are unable to find our mistakes. But when we give it to your friend, your brother, sister, who can read it, whose English is good, he can refine your paper, make it a good paper. When English is good, spellings are okay, grammatical errors are not there, then it will, the editors look for a good paper in which there are no grammatical errors or no punctuation mistakes. That makes a good paper. So review and revise your paper in a good manner. Then coming to the point, very important thing to be noted, plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is copying data, texts, or images from the other published research papers or other copyright material. So give credit where credit is due. Do not think that you are very smart. Nobody will come to know that this is copy paste matter. Do not copy paste. Plagiarism is a crime. Please keep in mind that you should not uh, commit this crime, and your paper should be your own work. Create your own magic, create your own ideas. Do not copy it from the already published, you can say, published matter. Give respect to the other researchers who have done research, and do not copy paste the matter. uh, Plagiarism is a crime and it is punishable offense. So what do journals editors want? They want a good quality work, original research work, active research areas, and clear and concise English. English should be clear and concise, and your work should be original research work. It should be a good quality work, and it should not be a copy paste method. This thing I have told you already in the starting, that reading improves your writing. You should read and read, read and read as often as possible to improve your writing skills, to give a good quality to your writing. Discuss with your colleagues and friends. It assists you with journal selection. Reading provides ideas for your next manuscript. So reading is a very important activity to improve your writing. Then comes publication ethics. Ethics means you should know what is right and what is wrong, what should be done and what should not be done. So in publication, you should also know what is right and what is wrong. What are don'ts? Multiple submission. You should not submit your paper or search paper and at one time to different conferences or different journals. If you are submitted it to one journal, wait for its review, for its response. So you should not submit single paper to different journals at the same time. Plagiarism, it I have already discussed with you. Then improper author contribution, the author mentioned in the paper, that should be original authors, right authors. There should not be any ghost author, or the author who has not worked in your search work and you have mentioned his name. That is also illegal. So data fabrication and data falsification should not be there. There should not be conflict of interest. So coming to the next slide, then choosing a target journal. Journal selection should be based on honest evaluation of the manuscript, compare with the stated aims and scope and impact factor of the target journals. You should submit your search paper according to your title that matches the journal. Only that journal that is of your area, according to your search area, you should submit your search paper to only that journal. You should target only that journal. Then what makes a good manuscript? Good manuscript contains a clear, useful and exciting scientific message. Good manuscript flows in a logical manner that the reader can follow. Good manuscript is formatted to best showcase the material, and good manuscript is written in a style that transmits the message clearly. And lastly, good manuscript is that manuscript in which there is no copy paste matter and it is original work and original ideas. Then coming to the scientific languages and tenses. What scientific languages we can use? Present tense for known facts and hypotheses. Past tense for experiments you had conducted. Past tense when you describe the results of an experiment. Next coming acknowledgements. Recognize those people who helped in your search because you want them to help again. Include individuals who have assisted you in your study. It may be your advisors, your supervisors, professors, financial supporters, proofreaders, typists, or suppliers who have who may have given the material. So acknowledgement is very much important. You should do it. It gives the respect to the people who have helped you, and he or she may again think to help you. Lastly, in some journals or in some conferences, author biography is also demanded. You can write author biography also in this way. Then coming important, what is the important to remember? Preparation is important, but do not spend too much time on your preparations. I have already told you that before making a in writing process, there is pre-writing, then writing and post-writing. In pre-writing, we gather the data, we read the papers, we collect the papers, we underline them, we make note making, note taking, and then comes a writing process, and after that, post-writing process. So submit to the right journal, submit to one journal only, check the English, pay attention to the structure and formatting, and pay attention to the journal requirement, and be honest. You should be honest while doing your search. Do your search with honesty and integrity. Then coming, why do we publish the paper? For career building, improving the skills and gainer satisfaction. What to publish? We can publish new and original results or methods, then reviews or summaries of particular subject, manuscripts that advance the knowledge and understanding in a certain scientific field. What not to publish? Reports of no scientific interest, out of date work, duplication of previously published work, and inaccurate or unacceptable conclusions. We should not publish. Then, worth of your paper. Your paper is worthless if no one reads, uses, or cites it. A research study is useful only if it is clearly described. Someone else can use it in his or her studies. It arouses other scientists' interest and allows others to reproduce the results. And it gives a solution to the problem of the society. That makes a worth of your paper. So this this all was how to make a good quality research paper and how to write a good quality research paper. So my talk is over. Any question, any query, you can ask me. I am here to answer your queries, you to clear your doubts.
Good evening, sir. May I?
Yes.
Sir, first of all, thank you so much for this talk. Sir, it was really like very enlightening regarding a good research paper. Sir, actually, I just have a doubt which is not related to this, but then I just wanted to know, sir, is conclusion part required in a research proposal, sir?
Research proposal.
Yes, sir.
You can check the guidelines when research proposal is, you can say, we somebody asks for the research paper, research proposal, there are given the guidelines.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it is demanded, then you can give it. If not, you can leave it.
Okay,
You
sir.
have
Why?
to
Because
read the requirements and guidelines.
okay, sir. So I just had this doubt because you said in a research paper, after the analysis only we will be able to write the conclusion.
Yes,
So in a
yes,
research proposal as such, like we do not do the, we don't
yes,
have the data,
yes,
right? I mean, we have the,
yes,
yeah, we are
yes,
still doing it. So that's the
yes.
reason, like I thought it was a bit confusing. That is the reason I just asked that,
No,
sir.
actually, conclusion we write, we conclude. When we have done everything, we
Yes,
know
sir.
everything. After
Yes.
that, we conclude.
Okay, sir. So since in a research proposal we haven't done the research,
Yes,
yeah. So okay, sir. I'll
you
just
can leave it.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.